So this is a difficult subject, but I believe that you're gonna find a lot of value if you happen to be in the shoes that I was when 2010. I was blessed that even though I've never known who my biological father is, um, I was blessed with a phenomenal dad that adopted me and truly showed me what a dad should be. However, when you look at the span of my life and you look at what happened prior to 2010, I was the poster child, right, of what happens to children and adults that grow up without their biological father either physically present and or maybe they're physically present but emotionally absent. So if you can be, it's called the father absent crisis. And if you are a member of the father absent crisis, drop a black heart in the comments, because that truly affects the trajectory of your entire life. And knowledge is power, right? Because if you think that there's something wrong with you, but the reality is that it's a side effect of something and you've been blaming yourself for all these things that you have been doing, but the reality is that it's just a side effect, right? So if you run through a road of a bunch of potholes and you get a flat tire, it's not that you did something wrong, it's that you run through a whole bunch of potholes that had maybe nails and now you have a flat tire. But had you known that that road was going to be like that, maybe you would have done something different. So I share all of this with you because this holiday season, this period in our lives is going to be unlike nothing we've ever experienced in our lifetime. And some of the things that you may or may not have dealt with may start coming up, right? Like I said, I am very grateful that my dad adopted me when I was 14. And my life has been, never been the same because I have a dad that I adore and, and it has made me feel adored and has shown me how to be a better human. However, as I was growing up, as I was being an adult, as I was dealing with life, all the side effects started coming. One of the side effects is that child abuse. So when you're a child, when you grew up without a father physically present and or emotionally absent, then you're more likely to be attempting suicide, to use and abuse drugs, to commit crimes and end up in jail, especially boys. If you you're more likely to be promiscuous. You're more likely to have children out of wedlock. You're more likely to be, I don't know if I said this already, but to be a victim of domestic violence, to have very toxic relationships, to attract toxic relationships, to attract abuse in your adult life. And I'm still probably living a few other things that are part of the side effect of if you are like I was, because even though I have my dad that showed up in my life, that still doesn't neglect that I have a huge void in my heart, right? And I can't neglect that. I can't just assume that it's not there because it is. So as big as my dad is and as amazing as my dad is, there's part of me that it still has a huge void because I've never known who my biological father is. But I'm grateful for the life that I have, right? And I'm grateful because I get to come here and share this with you and share with you how my mom has been amazing at doing the best that she was able to do in spite of me not knowing who my biological father is. And as you go into this new season in your life, if you know that these are the things that you might be battling with, or the things that you have been battling for all these years, but if somebody had told you, look, listen, this is happening to you because you grew up as part of the father absent crisis. You're part of a national crisis, which is called the father absent crisis. $112 billion are spent on social services because of the father absent crisis. And hold your horses. This is not about blame to men. No, this has nothing to do with men. This has to do with our society that is not giving the importance to the men in our life, to the importance of fathers in our children's lives. And everybody has to do what is right, right? My mom had to do what was right, and she did what was best that she could. But at the same time, it is good to know, like if you were prone to being diabetic, wouldn't you want to know so that you can avoid those things? I was very grateful that in 2010, I came into the marriage and relationship education, communication, education industry. And I learned all these things as to why I had anger issues, as to why I was always suicidal, as to why I had depression, as to why I was promiscuous, as to why, all these things. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I started a nonprofit so I could educate people on the importance of fathers and the importance of the masculine role in our society. But you may not know this. So I decided tonight to come to you so that I can share this with you, because there's no reason for you to suffer anymore. If you have been suffering because you are also a member of the Father Absent Crisis Club, there's a lot of solutions. If you're dealing with depression, there's ways that you can deal with your depression. If you're dealing with suicidal thoughts, we have a hotline for suicide attempts and suicidal thoughts. There's groups of people. There's my nonprofit miracles.org with a K as in King, because we're a Christian faith-based organization. There are a multitude of programs. If you are prone to addiction, right? If you are an addict or an alcoholic, which is also a side effect of the Father Absent crisis, then we have Alcoholics Anonymous. And Alcoholics Anonymous is such a gift. And it will be a gift for you too, if you choose it. And there is so much more. There's so much more to life than you going out there thinking that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. It is simply that you grew up without either a physical father or an emotionally present father. But now that you know that you're a statistic, right? Now you know that you're prone to those things. That if you are whatever age you are when you're looking at this, it doesn't matter. You can turn your life around. Yes, there is so much hope and there's so much good, because now you can be a gift to somebody else. Now you know that when somebody's acting out, it's not necessarily just for no reason. Hurt people, right? So I know this was meant for you, but I also know that this was meant for someone you also know. So if God is not nudging you about somebody's name, put it on the comments. Please comment and like this post, because the more comments and likes it has, the more that it goes out there into social media. But also share this with somebody. Share this into your Facebook page. Share this on Messenger. Share this with a group, because it's so beneficial. It changed my life completely. I used to be suicidal all the time, and now I'm not. I used to think that I needed to be happy with with alcohol or other stuff. I needed to be sad with alcohol or other stuff. I needed to celebrate with alcohol or other stuff. I needed to go to sleep with alcohol or other stuff. And now I don't do that. I've been sober since January 1st, 2011. January 1st, 2021, it'll be my 10th year of sobriety. So, let me give you a secret. Your life doesn't have to be a life of struggle. Your life can be a beautiful life. If you have suicidal thoughts, if you have anger issues, if you have addiction issues, if you have alcoholic issues, goodness gracious, if you are prone to be the abuser in domestic violence, you can get help. And you're not alone. There's thousands of us that are a member of the Father Absent Crisis. And we can all help each other. And if you want to know more, there is a ton of information. Feel free to comment here. Feel free to message me. Feel free to text me. Or simply go to my website, miracles.org. And miracles is spelled with a K as in king, for the Lord our King. And there's a lot of information there as to the side effects of the Father Absent Crisis and how the government did this whole study on this. So remember, there's nothing wrong with you. And there's nothing wrong with the Father that didn't do his job. Because if he had known better, he would have done better. This is a matter of choice. Now you know what's going on. And now you can do different. And you can share this information with others. So other people like you and me can also have a better life. Don't let other people struggle. Don't let other people keep hurting or hurting others. I used to have such huge anger issues. I would take pictures and I would be like, I mean, that's a little exaggerated, but I was always angry. I was always mad because I was being abused as a child. And again, that's one of the side effects of not having a physically present father, a biological father present. So I had a lot of reasons to be angry, but I didn't know. I just thought there was something wrong with me. And there isn't anything wrong with me. And there isn't anything wrong with you. So please comment, like, share. There's someone waiting for this message. And I know it's heavy. And I know that you may not want to hear this. But I'm telling you, it's going to make your life so much better. It's going to lift you up and free you. And it's going to give you a new pair of glasses. And it's going to give you a new outcome in life. Now you have choices. You don't have to be angry anymore. You don't have to have things of addiction or alcoholism or all the things, or even be abusing, physically abusing, be the actual person that is doing domestic violence. You don't have to do that anymore. There is help. A lot of help. Thank you, Majid. So with that, call it a victory, right? Just victory. Maria Lupita, signing off and wishing you the absolute best. And the best thing that I can wish for you is that you look in the mirror tonight and you tell yourself, I love you. I'm so proud of you. And you are beautiful. Oh, thank you. And then when you wake up in the morning, remember to tell yourself, I love you. I am so proud of you. And we're going to take on this day and make it amazing. Maria Lupita, signing off.